I was busy yesterday, so you're just gonna have to deal with it with another video today instead on a Saturday. A Saturday of all days, just for you.
Turn me on, be my dog. I wanna feel again. I wanna feel again.
Vermont indie rock band Sir Chloe have released their debut studio album, I Am the Dog. After releasing their debut EP while still in college, 2020's Party Favors, they were signed to a major record label after their song Michelle blew up on social media. I Am the Dog is a more polished album, which includes writing credits from the incredible Sarah Tudson of Illuminati Hotties. Last year, Sir Chloe released a few non-album singles, like the song Company, which included a lot of kink imagery in the music video. And in the video, there's even someone engaged in puppy play. So with a title like I Am the Dog, I kind of realized or had thoughts about what I was getting into on this project. And I have to say, it isn't quite that explicit, but it definitely does not disappoint. This is a very sexy and even kinky album about control and submission, done over polished indie and alternative rock with incredible catchy hooks. Lead vocalist Dana Foote often sings in this blank monotone, and it gives this kind of intense energy to these songs. It is like we, along with Dana, are on this journey of sexual self-discovery. The album opens with the track Should I? It begins with this call and answer, with Dana seemingly in this submissive position. There is also this tension during the catchy pre-chorus about waiting for something to happen, waiting for someone to tell you what to do, and it is almost anxiety-inducing and maybe even a little arousing. But then Dana sings about having the desire to take control herself, to do something impolite, only to pause and ask for permission. Should I? You can already see with this song the tensions and themes of this album, full of emotional and urgent intensity over what is an incredible, crunchy rock song. We then get the grunge-influenced track Salivate. The song sees Dana being teased, mouth open, given a little taste, and she's starting to feel some shame. Even the use of salivating evokes a kind of animalistic image, almost like it's conjuring the idea that this character is the dog. With the call and answer in the previous track, combined with the title of the album, it's hard not to make connections about how submission and control is at the very least metaphorically related to dog ownership. Throughout this album, I am constantly wondering, are we being sung to from the perspective of a dog? Is this puppy play? Or are we just several metaphors deep within a sub-dom relationship? Or even just an awareness of taking control of your relationships rather than just simply being a receptacle of other people's passions? Yet even with me intellectualizing the lyrics here, it still sounds incredible at the same time. Food is another theme on this album. The track Salivate should have at least hinted to that. But it especially takes prominence on the next track, Center. Like a Tootsie Roll, Dana is singing about licking while trying to get to the center. There is imagery here of biting and chewing, which again evokes the image of a dog tearing apart a treat or a toy, especially with the lack of willpower or patience. But the center is also sung by Dana as you, which gives the song another sexual edge to it. As Dana sings, I like a challenge when the prize is you. Again, I love the ambiguity here, with you possibly referring to the treat at the center, but could also be a sexual partner that you can't contain yourself around, who you feel you need to sink your teeth into. The song is a very dreamy indie rock sound that almost has a 50s vibe to it. The musical themes on the previous track continue with the next song, Know Better, which almost has a subtle rockabilly vibe to it. It also sees Dana getting a bit more introspective as she's starting to get bored of being submissive. Bored or she's in a toxic relationship. That part of it is less clear to me. She is starting to discover that she appreciates her alone time when she is in control, and she no longer wants to put on a pretty face. She describes herself laying in bed at night as a sinkhole, as if she's falling into a depression. In keeping with the idea that she is feeling bored here, the song also feels almost listless, as if she's merely being pushed around or being used by various people. I also appreciate that this sort of boredom about being submissive, or even the toxicity of this relationship, reminds me of this kind of old-timey vibe, which the music is also delivering on. The next song, Leash, has an almost sinister energy to it, and sees Dana gaining control. Her partner is described as coming through the dog door on their hands and knees at the end of a leash. It also seems to bring her out of the depression as she references she is now above the sinkhole. She also proclaims that her only love now is control. There is also this sense of gaining independence as she sings, I'm nobody's you. This personal growth continues with the next track, Hooves, again with the animalistic symbology here at full force. It is an alternative rock banger about setting boundaries, with Dana singing in the chorus firmly that she does not want to hold hands. She sings about being frustrated with people begging or even straight up not listening to her rejections. This transitions into the very spacious and slow burning retro track Obsession, which sees Dana finding new pleasures, with the metaphor of food coming back during the bridge of the song. There is this ache and taste for something violent as she describes herself tightening her hands around the waist of someone. But Dana then sings almost euphorically, with the song expanding into this transcendent joy, but with these deep and again almost sinister undertones. We then get the song Daddy's Car, which again sees Dana in a more introspective mood, with Dana describing what seems to be an abusive relationship this time. She sings about being blamed for things that are not her fault, and describes the location as being full of holes in the wall. She also escapes in Daddy's car, but daddy here is another ambiguous word. Is it the person she is fleeing from? Did she take her daddy's car to go to this person? None of this is clear in the song, but even just the use of the word daddy here, which also has sexual connotations, adds a lot of depth to the song and allows you to think about all the implications of the use of that word. Dana then recalls lyrics from the track Know Better as she lays in bed with her depression, which lends credence to the idea that that song actually was about an abusive relationship. She also sings in the end that you're my baby forever, even when you're not mine, which feels like the pain and hurt now follows her forever, even if they no longer are together or she is no longer in that abusive relationship. It is an incredibly touching and sad song, and the music has this epic and almost nostalgic sound to it, like it's a dream sequence that we are with Dana reflecting on this past experience. We then get what to me is a masterpiece of a song called Cake. The song plays with the tension of both desiring cake and controlling others' access to it. Again, the themes of salivating and aching return here, making cake feel like an obvious metaphor for sex. Dana begins by scoffing at someone for wanting it, saying she should put them down like a sick dog. Although it could also be interpreted as her reflecting on her own entitlement, deserving the cake, or even her own desires for it. The song even ends with Dana yearnfully yelling that she wants just another piece of cake. Musically, it plays with this tension as the verses are light and full of hesitant desire, while the chorus is bursting with an aggressive, lustful energy. With the build-up of the song feeling as if the craving is slowly starting to take over. We then get the title track, I Am the Dog. Dana has discussed in interviews how this song was inspired by this dog she was looking after as a child that was aggressive with her, basically shifting the pet owner relationship, making her feel like the dog in their relationship. But this also touches on the themes of abuse, submission, and control, with the song building to her romanticizing gaining control, or even romanticizing the past of when she was controlled. But it does seem like in the end, she's making a proclamation that she now has control, and she doesn't actually miss when she was being controlled. She's moved on, she's forgotten about it. It is sung over this very subdued track that again builds to this explosive conclusion. But the real finale is the final song, the incredible and epic Feel Again. The drums on this song are very reminiscent of Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. There is also this callback to the opening track, Should I, where Dana was passive and waiting in a more of a submissive position, while now in Feel Again, Dana doesn't want to wait to be turned on anymore. She is in control. As she sings, Turn Me On, Be My Dog, I Want to Feel Again. Dana's singing has this edge, as if she has discovered a secret power within herself, as the song explodes into another epic rock finish. This album is incredible. There is not a single bad song on this thing. The writing on this album is also perfect. It really brings you into its world and leaves enough there to get you thinking without having to spell it all out for you. This also allows for many interpretations of what can be going on here, and I love that about it. If I were to nitpick things, I would say there are a few production choices here that I would change occasionally, but otherwise it's a pretty flawless project. The only other thing to hold against it is that even though it takes a lot of risks lyrically, musically, it's not as creative or original, but it is still a well-crafted, great-sounding pop album, and we shouldn't take too much away from it for not breaking the mold here. In the end, though, I would give this album a solid 9.5 out of 10. I was almost willing to give it a 10, but we're going to hold it there. I'm still waiting for something to just, blow me away. This was close, though. I was close to being blown away. Maybe I was blown. You know what I'm saying. But I don't have to justify myself to you. It was a great album. What did you think of the album? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you having fun? Are you having a good time? Let me know in the comments. And consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I love you. Love yourself. Be the dog.